I don't think this is a traditional method for cutting a drainage ditch, but I don't see why this wouldn't work. It seems pretty cheap and easy. Alright, so today we're digging a drainage trench. So historically we've had some really bad issues with water flooding into our crawl space and into our garage. I think I've got some clips that I'll put in here. Basically all of the water comes down the hill up here from this hill off of my neighbor's driveway here, and it basically all just dumps in here and ponds up right here by this corner of the house, and then goes into the crawl space here where the HVAC ducts are. So today what we're doing is cutting a drainage trench. What I'm using here is a rental sod cutter. I've never used one of these before, but basically I'm going to cut a strip of the sod right here and then pick that up and then put it over here on the right side. So then all the water coming down the hill will hopefully go into that ditch, and then with the raised side up here, hopefully it's enough of a ditch that it'll take the water basically out here down toward the road past this corner of the house. Once we get past the house, then it's all downhill from there. So we're gonna see if this works. I measured kind of a parallel string line here. I don't know if you can see the string, but the flag's here parallel to the neighbor's driveway. So we'll have a nice parallel run here. So let's get to it, see what happens here. Well, that one's pretty quick. Let's take a look so far. It's probably about halfway done moving the sod over. So you can see we get, twice the depth of what I'm cutting in terms of the trench because this is lower and then this is that much higher. So when the water comes here from the left to right, it should be the path of least resistance to go downhill rather than going up almost 6 inches to get over this. So maybe the one spot where I'm not sure how much grade we have is kind of right in here. It might be flat or even go uphill a little bit before it turns and goes downhill. So that's kind of the critical location here, if it's gonna work or not, or come over here to the corner of the house. So we'll see. I guess if anything, we would just need to make this a little deeper to maintain the downward slope until we get past the house. But other than that, I don't see why this wouldn't work. I don't think this is a traditional method for cutting a drainage ditch, but it seems pretty cheap and easy. Less than renting a big skid steer or whatever else you would use. I think if the ground was a little wetter, or if the grass wasn't all half dead, kind of going into the winter time here. It'd be easier to keep it all in one piece and maybe roll it up and then pick it up, move it over and unroll it. But it's so brittle. As soon as I started rolling it, it was all falling apart. So anyway, kind of using a combination of my hands and the flat shovel. If I had one of these that was like 50% wider, that'd probably be able to get the full strip. Anyway. I think I figured out the technique. The technique is to go under, pry up to kind of separate it, and then lift up. Okay, there we go. How's that look? Turn the hose on and test it out. I think that's gonna work. It looks all pretty uphill from here. I think I've got to maybe pack this in and make sure it's solid and there's no gaps in here for the water to come through. And I think I will throw some grass seed on this. I don't know if it'll grow or not at this time of year, but yeah, I guess the idea, my hope is that this will kind of naturally smooth out over time and be less rectangular and be more of a gentle rise and fall. I think looking back, I probably should have, instead of putting these down right next to the channel, maybe move this over 6 inches, and that would kind of lend itself to a more gradual slope in there. So kind of have like a 2-step up instead of one big step. I don't know if it's worth it to move it at this point, but anyway, yeah, then we should probably water all of this so it'll hopefully, save the grass. All right, I think I'm gonna get my 6-foot level out and check up here if there's any uphill slope on this. All right, I'm checking some of the flattest spots here. Even right here, this side, it is going the way I want it. Let's go over here. Yep, good. Yeah, it all seems to be downhill. So far, so good. All right. Guess I decided to go along and try to move it all over about 6 inches to get kind of that more gradual slope on there. It's not taking that long. Trying to get it compacted. Here's what we got here. Kentucky 31. 4 to 8 hours of sun, 1,400 square feet. What does it say? Early spring or early fall. Okay. We're in the fall. Let's do it. Alright, we're gonna give it a quick rake to loosen up the dirt. I don't know if it's doing much. Recommends to throw down some kind of fertilizer. This is the closest thing I got, all-purpose plant food. So let's throw this down, and then the seed, and then we'll water. I've never really planted grass before. I'm not sure what's the ideal amount of grass seed. That's probably a lot right there. That might be a little thin. Kind of figuring it out as I go. does that look? Probably a little bit heavy, I guess. Alright, now we gotta water all this stuff. Technically that plant food you're supposed to dissolve in water first and then spray it on, but figure, hey, when it gets wet it'll dissolve and do something anyway. I think I'll even throw down another round of grass seed on top of the sod just to overseed it, and it has a lot of bare spots, so just helping that grow too. Gave this bush a haircut earlier, just to be like halfway up that window. So I'm thinking about trimming up this bush, whatever this stuff is. It's kind of like hay. Throw that down to help protect the grass seed back there. Does that make any sense? Is that going to work so super good? How much do you do? Cover? Yeah. Cover it solid?
No. I like covering.
Like, is that pretty good, do you think? Or?
Yeah.
A little thin over here.
Nice.
Yeah, hopefully this works. Now I'm kind of looking forward to the next big rain.
Well, you don't want it to wash all your seed away.
Yeah, it
Looks good.
All right, man. Here we go. Hopefully I didn't fill my ditching too much. All right, here. You see? Yeah, hopefully that works. Kind of looking forward to the next big rain now. See if it holds up, see how it performs. All right, that'll do it.